So mind you, this is a old track that NIghtLights Inc. has released. This is the track with like 5 different artists on it. I chose this one as it's going to be the best example to help teach. So as you can see, the beat layer is my very, very top layer. It's referenced as others. I bass boosted this beat before the release. This was part of the mastering process. It made it super, 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 super simple to export it and make it sound extremely good. The rest of this all has different layered mixing. One of them has the NIghtLights Inc. standard mix. So you click onto the mix, then you click your little dials here, and you're able to see what I do with the mix. This is the NIghtLights Inc. Mix V4. This is the 4th style of our mix. We've done many, many, many different styles. As you can see, even I follow my own layout with having the reverb, then the compressor, EQ, shaper, distortion, and then the noise gate last. You can see that I have my dials turned slightly higher than most people have them. This is part of the mastering process, not the mixing process, as to push the vocals a little bit higher than the beat. The reason why is when you put music onto a radio and the radio picks up the frequencies, it will always play the beat louder than the vocals, unless the vocals are inherently much, much, much louder than the beat. So that's why our compressor dials and everything else is turned so drastically high. You can see my distortion is at 0.1. You only need 0.1. Anything above that, you're kind of overkilling it a little bit, especially since you can pull off other effects that you need without pumping up that distortion. The rest of my stuff has mostly telephone effects. This is to create a overarching background. Yes. Whenever you mix music, there's always one specific path that you're supposed to take in order to create a studio sound. Okay? And that's reverb first, then compressor, then EQ, and then noise gate last. Anything that to mess with the vocals are in between the EQ and the noise gate. So the shaper and the distortion are in between the EQ and the noise gate. This is for a couple different reasons. One, for instance, the EQ, if I were to put this, say for instance, I slap this behind the EQ. Oh, that's a wrong thing. Behind the EQ, right? The EQ will no longer sound pristine because it's going to be picking up the reverb inside of the EQ. If I have the reverb on this side of the EQ, it won't be picking up the reverb. It won't be EQing the reverb, and that's important. If you EQ the reverb, it's going to sound bad. And same here, right? If you compressor the reverb, it's going to sound bad. If you EQ the compressor, it's going to sound bad. So we put those ahead of the EQ. It's super, super, super important. This is how you create that studio sound without being in a studio. You're going to see that in my telephone effects that I've created, it's the same, right? This is in general for backgrounds. This is not for overarching vocals. This is not for main vocals. This is for background vocals. I put a telephone effect on the background vocals as it makes it sound a bit further in the background, and it gives it space. What's another way I can say that? It makes it feel like it's surrounding you rather than right in front of you, I guess is the best way I can say that. Whenever I go into Bandlab and I have vocals, my very first step is to denoise it. Whenever you denoise your vocals, what you're doing is you're erasing all the extra random white noise that you're getting from your microphone, even before the mixing process. This is going to clean it up a little bit more, make it sound a little bit more pristine than it already does. As you can see, I don't auto pitch. This is auto tune. Bandlab has its own auto tune, really good. If you're going to use it, never pump it above 30%. If it's above 30%, you're going to sound trash. You're going to sound like Cardi. Always have it below. I don't even use reverb. I don't even use it on this though, so it's no big deal. I usually don't use auto pitch. I only use auto pitch on, let's just say, younger artists, people who are below 18, their voice may crack, they're a bit higher. This is going to help their voice stay steady and on point the way that they want. Though try not to use auto pitch as little as you can. It's pristine, but not that good. Each layer is very, very important with how you do it, as that's going to create that overall sound. A lot of people, they don't realize that the layers themselves and how you have the layer set up is also going to help create a more distinct sound. If I were to move this, upwards, right, it's going to lose an aspect of the sound that it had before. And a lot of people don't recognize, now this is not an FL thing, this is just a Bandlab thing on this part. A lot of people don't realize that just moving that layer is enough to change the sound, even by 0.1%, which is crazy. Even 0.1%, people like me can hear with really, really, really expensive headphones that are built for mixing. And because of that, you always want to make sure that your layers are properly set up and in a way that is easy to understand. I do a lot of cuts. This is the vocal layer that I started with, this top one. And everything else is things that were added by other artists. They just directly recorded on here. I cut up their vocals and adjusted them as need. I also faded some parts. This was to create a better sound overall when it's adjusting to a new set of vocals. But this is Bandlab on the phone. Super, 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 super simple to use. Very nice.
We need to get you to do one from scratch when we got time, bro. I would love to see one from scratch. Like, just start the vocal, start everything, show the process. Like, I think that's amazing, right? Because like me seeing this, it looks simple, but when I worked it with my hands, bro, I was having a difficult time. So like, if I could see just how you fucking slice, how you just move things around, dude, that shit would help so much right there, straight up.
I mean, here, give me 1 second. Let's go see what my newest project is. This one is a Wise song. I have not mixed this one yet, which means that I can still touch up on it. I've not heard this at all. Okay, so here's what we're going to do. We're going to fix this because this bottom layer is a beat. We're going to move it all the way up. It's going to make it much, much easier to mix, and it's also going to make that beat stand out a little bit more. What we're also going to do is we're going to bass boost this. You can use the auto presets to bass boost. It's what I do. Bass boosting isn't something special, but it's always good to go in and mess with the dials yourself. Oh man, they have updated this app. It is much, much different than it was before. Okay, bass boost. So here's the EQ of the bass boost. Something that I always do is I pump up the 100, I pump up the 200, and then I come down here, I pump this down a little bit, and this one down a little bit.
The 6.4 and the 3.2.
Yep. This is going to help with a better bass sound. You'll hear it in just 1 second.
Clever Lion wants to know, what headphones are you using when mixing?
Well, I have a couple different pair of headphones. I have like a Samsung pair of. I use a lot of different stuff when I mix music at all times. I'm just constantly swapping between different audio devices, just that way I can make sure each and every aspect of the mix sounds good. But in general, I use a like Bluetooth JBL speaker. I have a Samsung pair of headphones. I have another pair of headphones. It's like $1,700 or something. It's like X7Q2 or something like that is the name. And then I got like Skull Candy, I got Bluetooth earbuds, I got a Bluetooth radio that I hook up to.
Well,
I use a lot of different stuff when I
I
mix.
love that. Real quick, guys, you guys have to understand how do people listen to music? People listen to music in the car. People listen to music in expensive headphones. People listen to music in cheap headphones. People listen to music straight off of the phone. People listen to music on TVs. It's so many. So if you go out of your way and really test your audio out on all these platforms, it's one of the best ways to really get the best mix possible. I used to do that a lot. Clever Lion says he swaps between 4 pairs.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. As you can see, I he had this mix out of order. I just made sure that it was all properly ordered. We always put the de-esser, even though it's a compressor, we always put the de-esser right next to the noise gate. For some reason, it just makes the de-esser sound slightly better than if you were to move it.
So real quick, I just want to say something. I just want you guys. I think this is a really fucking cool thing right here that you can literally send a file of this Bandlab shit to someone and they can just open it up exactly how you made it, right?
Yes, yeah. You don't even have to send the file. You just send the link to the Bandlab that you're working on. And that's all they need is the link, and then you click on the link, and it opens it up and takes you right into here.
That's crazy. That's actually so impressive right there. That's one of the fucking probably my favorite things I've seen, honestly.
So this is one of the very first things that I do when I start mixing music is I just go in, I fix the people's own setups, and then I listen to it once it's fixed. If it doesn't sound the way that we're looking for, that's when I throw in my mixing.
So
But at first, I fix their mix, and then we listen to how it sounds, and if it sounds good, then we just slightly continue to slightly fix up their mix
So as you guys see right
piece by
now,
piece.
he was moving the different apps, right? That's what you're doing right now, right? You're moving the.
Yep, I'm going in. I'm just making sure that all the stuff that he has is properly set. Oh, look, he has a preset made by somebody else for this vocal. That's fine. We're just going to save this. We're going to go in and we're going to make sure that this is set up properly for him. So, de-esser goes at the end. Noise gate goes even further at the end. Delay goes after EQ. And that looks good right there. And we're going to do the same thing here. We're just going to click save. We're going to hit this. We're going to adjust these. Delay goes after the EQ. Now, he has a lot of reverb on here. Let's take off one of those reverb layers. That happens a lot with artists because they don't know their own layers. They start duplicating the layers. Okay, that sounded slightly better. Let's make sure these other layers are set up properly too. Oh, see, they're not. He turned his reverb off. That's interesting. Let's move this noise gate to the very end. Let's put the delay after the EQ. Same thing with the cabinet and the amplifier and the overdrive. He has no compressor on this layer. That's interesting. We're probably gonna go back to that and add a reverb and a compressor. This is also out of all mix. We can delete one of these reverb layers. We're not going to need that, as we discovered. We got to make sure that the compressor is ahead of the EQ. Delete that layer. A lot of the time, artists will add extra layers that you don't actually need. You can temporarily mute them so that way you don't need them. You just mute them by clicking the on.
Oh yeah, he got that. He got that
Um,
fucking reverb crazy.
Yeah, he does. We're gonna go in there. We're gonna turn that down. Actually, he has a 50% mix. I always shoot for 30 to 34.
Same. I learned that one the hard way.
What we also learned is that we need to turn down the reverb.
It's really important to people to record your music raw and then add the layers. Don't ever record your music with the fucking thing, the plugins attached. You know what I mean?
Yes, very much so.
Yeah, because for sound engineers, it's fucking a nightmare to deal with your guys' vocals if it's. Cleverline says the delay goes into the future.
Sorry, what was that?
Cleverline said the delay goes into the future. I don't know what that means.
Yes. Yes, it does. The delay goes after the EQ. Yeah, I don't know what kind of headphones the really nice ones are. They might be Audi's. I'm not totally sure. We just discovered that this layer right here is in fact vocals. Oh geez. Hold up. Was that vocals?
Yep. I was gonna say. So what's that noise coming from the beat or from the vocals? There's like I hear like a lot of white noise.
Well, let's figure that out right now.
Yeah, that's bass is going crazy.
That is going crazy. Let's denoise this beat real quick. See, that fixed it up a little bit.
Yep.
We're going to go in, and because we know that it's having that effect, we're going to do this a little bit. Turn this up. Boom. There's still a little bit of a sound there, but I actually like that. We can mess with that by messing with his vocals.
Right.
Now we're going to open up one vocal layer.
Cleverline said there's an RC20 on it or some vinyl effect on that.
There's no effect on the beat. It looks like he screen recorded the beat.
Yo, that's fucking gnarly, bro. I never heard of a beat taken like that.
Okay, so this is a vocal layer. So what we're going to do is we're going to fix up this vocal layer because I cannot hear anything of what he's saying.
Right.
So we're going to add the NIghtLights mix onto there. See, now I can understand him. And what we're going to do is we're going to turn up the reverb because he wanted that reverby sound. So what we're going to do is we're going to turn up the reverb a little bit to match how he liked it. We're going to turn it up a little bit more. Luckily for us, we have a lot of mixing.
Guys, don't hide your voice, dude, because it makes a huge difference. I couldn't hear anything now. It sounds amazing already.
There we go. We fixed up that layer for him. Now we can open up this layer.
Yeah.
I actually like the sound of this layer now because we fixed up that other one, so we can just pull it in.
Cleverline said it's interesting the phone will bit crush a beat like that, he said.
Only if you screen record it. Whenever you screen record things, you're always going to take a huge hit on the audio. It's just how it is with screen recording. See, now that we fixed up that first layer, this yellow layer here actually sounds much better. We still decrease the audio of it though. There we go. And now it's further in the background. It sounds like it's just a background layer rather than a duplicated layer.
Right.
Now we can open up this and see how this sounded. Remember, this sounded awful before. We kind of insta-muted this.
Love me tonight, maybe just maybe.
Cleverline asked the question. He said, "Wait, when you say screen record, you mean through a call or something?"
No, he's just clicking the screen record on his phone. You can just record what the things that you do on your phone in a setting. That's all he's doing with it.
Yeah, you just slide down from the top on your phone most of the time, and it'll say screen record. You just hit that button, and then I guess he goes and records wherever, like on a YouTube or whatever the beat is. Right.
So I just cut out that empty space that I didn't need right there. What we're gonna do is we're gonna fade this outward by a lot.
I'm pretty sure you can do that, Clever. You just gotta look for the setting. I'm like, literally almost every phone now has a screen record.
There we go. That fixed up that noise right there. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna denoise this. We're gonna denoise this. We're just gonna make sure that everything is nice and denoised. We already did that. So now,
love me tonight, maybe just maybe it will be fine.
see, nice and pretty. We can go up and fix the actual mix later on. We're just making sure that everything sounds good before we actually do the real mixing process. This is to make sure that when we do the mixing, it sounds nice and pristine. So we're going to open up these two layers here. All right, so what has he got going on here with this mix? Okay. Interesting. We're just going to slap the V4 mix onto here. And onto here as well. Then we're going to see how that sounds. We're going to turn these up slightly. Ah, see, there we go.
I know what my day is really missing is you.
You know what we're going to do? We're going to show you guys how we make backgrounds.
Well, my day is really missing this. My day is really missing it.
Okay, so we're going to cut it right here.
It's you.
Just like that. We're going to copy this. Duplicate this layer. We're going to remove this. Okay.
My day is really missing this. Yeah.
We're going to start that background right here. We're going to turn this background into a telephone effect.
You can find these presets, telephone effects. Even we have like special ones, right? NIghtLights Inc. ones.
Yep, these are special NIghtLights Inc. telephone effects and vocal layers. You can always either hit me up. Most of these are old or versions that I'm mixing on. We have the NIghtLights Mix V4 and the NIghtLights and the Telephone NIghtLights Inc. Those two are official mixes that we use. We also have our instruments that we use for beats, but it's in the works of being redone right now. So with that layer that we just copied and pasted, we're going to make it sound
really missing this. Yeah.
Boom. See, that's exactly what we wanted. But now that we know that it's that low, we can turn it up.
Yeah.
That sounds good.
Hell yeah.
That's what my day is missed.
Okay, so you can hear that he's trying to go with a deeper tone right here. We're gonna help him out.
It's
So what we're gonna do is we're gonna tone it down for him, and we're gonna see how that sounds.
that's what my day is missed.
Here's what we're gonna do. We're going to shift this, or sorry, we're gonna fade this in the very beginning, like that, very slightly.
And once again, clever line. This application Bandlab is free, dude. You can download this shit for free, and you can actually do it on your computer as well. On top of that.
That's what my day.
Yeah, Bandlab is 100% free. You don't need to pay for it in order to use it. My mixes, so the reason why people prefer my mixes over making their own version of what mine is because these layers right here, you need the membership to use. Luckily, I've had the membership in the past. That's when I created these, and because of that, whenever you apply it, these membership ones will automatically work for you, even if you don't have them, because I've set them up for you.
Nice.
Is missing. It's you.
Ooh, did you guys hear that?
Yeah.
That was really loud.
Yeah.
We're gonna go up here. We're gonna mess with that.
Yeah.
All we have to do is turn this part down to match the other part.
You. That's what my day.
What is this yellow layer here?
You.
Oh, that's static. Is that am I hearing that clipping, or is that you? You really hear it?
No, that's the Bandlab.
Okay.
Right now I have it really high. As you can see, it's clipping.
Oh, right. Okay.
That way I can hear the vocals a little bit better right now.
Mm-hmm.
And then when I go to mix this, I'm gonna go back and fix that.
Clever said, yeah, I have it on my PC, just haven't sat down with it yet. Yeah, you gotta use this tutorial, go back, rewind it to this tutorial too, to remember. Always come back to this live stream to see. Actually, you should cut this up on a video, bro. You should, like,
I will.
Yeah, hell yeah.
I will put this up and put it in video format so that people can watch. Oh, Steve, I like the way that this purple layer sounds. He did good on it. It's got a weird old school telephone, like mobile telephone effect. But what we can do is we can turn that down for him.
Love me like I always do, baby. Just this once for me.
We're gonna go in and fix that mix
So
a
what does
little bit.
Lights record on? Do you know?
He records on his phone. This is with his phone.
So as you guys hear, it's straight off the phone, guys. Straight off the phone. Maybe no headphones.
No headphones.
So imagine that. This dude sounds really, like, in my opinion, I think he sounds nice, and it's crazy that he's doing it over the phone. Imagine if you got a nice microphone. Whew, that would help a lot too with mixing. You gotta get to do the microphone.
Okay, now that we've cleaned this all up for him, what we're gonna do is we're gonna duplicate this layer here. We're gonna throw the telephone onto it. We're gonna decrease it by a lot. This is for backgrounds. Okay, and this is the key part of what I do a lot. Can you stop? No. We're just gonna offset it.
Just leave all your troubles behind you, girl.
All right, and that cleans it up a little bit more. It makes it sound more melodic, as you can hear.
Hey, WayØut working miracles out here with this shit too. There's miracles, guys. I said NIghtLights doesn't work miracles. He works miracles.
Behind you, girl.
And then we're going to turn up the beat a little bit more. We're going to turn down the master. All right, that sounds good. What we're going to do is we're going to come up here. Because he is younger, we're going to auto pitch this just very slightly. Come on. Why is it auto doing this? Come on. There we go. There we go. And that cleaned up his pitch just very slightly, which is all that we needed to do there for his pitch.
Right.
We need to turn that beat up a little bit more, it sounds like. We're going to turn up those layers a little bit. I want the talking layers to be slightly louder than everything else. Like he's coming in, you know what I mean? See, that sounds nice.
I know my day is really missing this year. That's what my day is missing. It's you. That's what my day is missing. It's you.
Turn this up. Oh, my alarm. See, there we go. And that mix sounded all right. Now, when we leave this, I always tell people not to use the auto master process, and I can tell you why. Let's save this. All right, so now you can do the auto master process, where when you go into Bandlab and you can apply master. I always tell people not to do this. It always comes out with a rough sound that I don't like, but people are always more than welcome to do how they like. Where did that go? That's weird. All right, I'll just show you with his. Okay, so this is the original with no auto master. And here's the auto master. So what it does, what it's doing, is it's making the beat louder. It's actually not doing anything to your vocals at all. Even if you were to click these other aspects, it's still not really doing anything to your vocals. What it's doing is it's prioritizing the beats, but you don't want that. When you master a track, you want to focus on the vocals, not the beat. The beat should be done by the time that you're done with the mixing process. That's why I tell people not to do the auto master process. Is because this whole thing is going to focus mainly on your beat, less so on your vocals. When you're mastering something, you should always focus on the vocals in the mix.
Clever Lion said, yeah, it cleared up a bit, but it sounds a bit tinny. Not sure if I am hearing it right.
No, you're right. You're 100% right. And that's the problem with this auto master process. And when we go in with the mix, when I go in with the mix later, I'm going to clean up a couple things because I want to mess with his vocals a little bit more, experiment.
Also, can't forget, it's beats screen recorded, vocals recorded on the phone. Like, you know, once again, we can only do so much with what the base thing is, and you can
Well,
still see.
this auto mastering process in general just sucks. It's just going to make the whole thing sound awful. That's why we never do the auto master. We rather master in the studio itself.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to sound much better like that.
Okay, clever said. I mean, the
Yeah,
auto master made it
yeah.
clean.
The auto master does that. It's not good. It's not good at all. There's a reason why I always tell people to avoid that and just master it yourself.
Hell yeah.
But yeah, that's the mixing and mastering. Is there anything that you wanted me to show you while I was on here, Meta?
No, that's all. I was like literally. That was a lot, dude. Like for sure, man. Like from the way you move the layers to just adding the backgrounds. That was a lot, dude. Honestly, there's nothing I can say. You did everything I do normally in my on FL Studio. Just showed me the way you do it on here. You know what I mean?
Yep. That's what I was trying to do.
Yeah, I was on point.
And that's the general process of Bandlab, right? It's pretty simple, straightforward. And you don't have to do all these extra plugins, especially if you already have like presets that NIghtLights Inc makes, or other presets. You can make your own presets, which is amazing. Just remember that when you're doing presets, you're always layering them correctly. Remember, reverb, compressor, EQ, gate. That should be your order. Anything that you're adding onto the voice should be in between the EQ and the noise gate.